is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of JR Takes. And as always, you got Ryan and I giving you the latest Seattle and NFL news. And Ryan, we've got probably the biggest game in franchise, probably over the last, decade.
I think you could, without hyperbole, say it's the biggest Thursday night game in franchise history.
Yeah, okay. I'll say that. Because I would agree with that statement. And, the Rams coming to town, and we're both 11-3, and this game pretty much has the division hanging in the balance as far as the winner. And I really like our chances if we win this game to win the division, and for Sam to get his second straight season of 14-3.
Yeah, and essentially whoever wins the NFC West is guaranteed the number one seed. I think the only scenario in which the NFC West winner doesn't get the number one seed is if the Bears do. And I kind of don't think that's going to happen because that team would have to be 13-4 hypothetically, and the Bears would also have to win out, and they got some tough games against the Packers and Lions and 49ers coming up. So for all intents and purposes, this is more or less, like, this game is almost certainly going to decide the division winner and the number one seed in the playoffs. And to have that game on the slate this late in December in prime time, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's hard to think that the Bears are still doing as good as their record says they are. I mean, they are winning against comparable teams.
Yeah.
So
I think at this point the Bears are kind of just for real. Like they've found something.
They know how to run the ball. That's for sure. And I'd like to. That's why I kind of would like us to play them, because I feel like we would make them one-dimensional and make the crybaby have to defeat us through the air. But who knows if that'll even happen? Because it would have to come by chance in the playoffs, and it seems like we're both going to be high seeds entering in. But as far as the injury report goes on the game coming up, it seems like Charles Cross might not play. Did you hear anything about that?
Yeah, so I didn't hear anything about it the day of the game, and I obviously didn't notice at the stadium because we were all just celebrating that Myers made his kick. But yeah, he got hurt on that game winner for Myers from 56 out there, and I think it's a hamstring injury. So
yeah, it is. He did like the splits when he was blocking.
And to be totally honest, Devontae Adams has a hamstring injury, and he's basically already been ruled out. Charles Cross is a lot younger than Devontae Adams. However, he's 300-something pounds, and he plays left tackle. I think the odds of being able to come back from a hamstring pull in 4 days at that position is pretty unlikely, but you never know. We thought Gray Zabel was for sure going to miss time, and he didn't end up missing a snap after his scary-looking knee injury.
I mean, I know that we lost, Sundell earlier in the year, but we've been pretty lucky with offensive line injuries.
I agree.
Compared to years past. Like, what was it, last year or the year before that when we lost?
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
We lost Lucas and Cross immediately week one. I think, against the Rams.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm glad to see, like you said, Gray Zabel, and hopefully Charles Cross can get out there. But, the Devontae Adams thing, that is probably going to be pretty huge if he's not out there, because I believe didn't he cook us?
He had one catch for 1 yard and a touchdown.
Okay, yeah.
But that's the thing is, you look at it.
He's been a big red zone threat this
Exactly.
year.
Like, we held him in check as far as moving between the 20s is concerned, but the red zone is the biggest reason why we lost to the Rams the first time. They got 3 touchdowns, and we got 5 field goals and a touchdown.
Dadgummit.
Exactly. And that's really, I feel like the season fundamentally changed the last time the Seahawks played the Rams. In large part because I feel like Sam Darnold was just slinging the football up and down the field and just making ballsy throws into tight windows. And actually, this advanced stats back that up too. He was number one in big-time throw plays, what defines a big-time throw, I can't give you the precise definition, but I think it's something that intuitively we can all understand. But since then, he hasn't completed one big-time throw. He's been very cautious with the ball. He's only attempted 9 tight window throws. And I think a little bit of that is just a bit of shell shock from the 4-turnover game against the Rams. Mm-hmm. And we have been sacked at a higher clip following that game as well. So what I think that translates into essentially is he's been more willing to just kind of give up on a play and take a sack after that Rams game instead of trying to make something happen. And, I mean, we've gone 4-0 in those games, but especially in the first half, our offensive output has been hurt by that pretty bad, I would think. So I think this is a great chance for Sam to really just exercise this Ram demon that has just plagued him for 2 years now. Because the Rams, I think they do a pretty good job shutting down the run. We had an okay game running against them last time, but I think if there is a weakness on this Rams defense, it is their secondary. And I think that JSN should be able to get open. He did it just fine last time. So we're going to need a marriage between first half of the season, Sam Darnold cooking, with a little bit added caution that he's had for the last, month or so to win this.
I feel like, on the game against the Colts, it seemed like we were just, or I guess maybe he was playing more conservative and just trying not to turn the ball over. Because that was a very, it just seemed like one of those games that was going to be ugly. And we wanted to just get in and get out. Mm-hmm. Because, obviously we have the Rams coming up on Thursday. But I don't know. I heard Sam Darnold in the press conference after the game, and I have confidence in him that he'll play a good game.
I wasn't saying what I was just saying as like an indictment of, we're cooked, Sam sucks. I actually think it really speaks to his ability to grow and adapt, because he has adjusted his play to avoid, the game killer mistakes. And we've had less turnovers, I think, since that Rams game on average, where even when we were blowing teams out, we were still turning the ball over twice in a game for seemingly no reason. And that didn't come back to bite us until it finally did against the Rams. So it seems like there's been an adjustment there, but I do have confidence that it is kind of just not a fluke, but I don't think there's something magical and mystical about the Rams uniforms that makes Sam Darnold play bad. I think it's just been a couple of tough games against a really good team within the span of the year. This Rams team is atop virtually every power rankings I see, including the one I made. So it's not an easy task, but I think this is going to be just as close of a game as the last one, personally.
Yeah. Hopefully there's a little bit less turnovers on our part, but I could foresee it even being a low-scoring game as well. Last game was pretty low-scoring.
It was 19-21, I believe.
Yeah, so I could see something like that happening again, which brings me to my scoring prediction. I do think we're going to win this one this time. I predict it's going to be, what did I say? 29-24. Sort of a mid-range score there, but I just think it's gonna come down to maybe us stopping the Rams this time around on defense, and we've relied on those guys year in and year out. This year in particular, they've been just lights out. So I think the defense shines, and everyone sees it in prime time.
That would be absolutely glorious. And the defense needs to play their best game of the season to win this. It got lost in the fact that we lost the game, but our defense actually really held the Rams in check that first matchup. They held their run game and their pass game to the lowest efficiency numbers they've had all season. So they have proven that they can do it.
Yeah, didn't Sam Darnold, didn't Matthew Stafford have his lowest numbers at halftime?
He virtually had the same stat line that Phillip Rivers had against us.
Yeah.
On Sunday. So yeah, I mean, that speaks volumes to what this defense is capable of. And the last time we played them, Julian Love wasn't out on the field.
Yeah.
Is that a tremendous difference maker? I don't know. But, I mean, he's our starter for a reason, even though Okada was playing quite well. So, yeah, I think this is going to come down to the wire. I picked us to win last time when we lost. So I am tempted to pick us to lose, and we end up winning, and I'm wrong. But no, fuck that. I'm just gonna go full homer, and I think we win by 1 point. I think we win 22-21. So same score as last time, but this time Myers makes the game-winning field goal.
All right.
But I think, I mean, we got this second atmospheric river coming in. Lots of flooding across the Northwest. I think it's going to be a rainy night on Thursday, and it might be hard to move the ball. There could be some sloppiness out there, so I'm not predicting the scoreboard to light up a whole bunch.
I disagree. I think the weather's going to clear up. It's going to be beautiful skies out.
You're a meteorologist now. You're making weather predictions.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, that's really all I got for the game. I'm excited for it, and hopefully we can get the job done.
Yeah, it's as big of a game in the regular season as we've had in a decade, I think. And I was saying similar things about the last matchup, but they were true then, and if anything, they're more true now because the stakes are higher. We talked about everything that's on the line in this game, and I just bigger picture wise, it would be really nice to just win this game and be locked into the playoffs. On top of that, in case something terrible does happen in the last two games, I think we have a 99% chance to be in the playoffs this season. But there is a scenario where if the Lions win out and the Packers win 2 of their last 3 and we lose out, not super likely to happen at all. We would miss the playoffs in that scenario. So it is important to just get in the dance floor because I think whether they get the number 1 seed or they have to go on the road, this defense in particular is capable of going on a run. So
yeah,
just need to get in there.
Yeah. That will pretty much bring us to going around the league. Do you want to start us off with your good this week and good mid ugly? Yeah,
so this is I'm sticking in the AFC South for the second straight week, but this time it is the Jaguars. I know they're playing against the Jets, who are playing some quarterback I've never heard of, Brady Cook, which is quite an indictment of Justin Fields' development. But I digress. Trevor Lawrence scored 6 total touchdowns in this game, which, I mean, even if you're playing a team like the Jets, that's still an impressive feat. Jaguars are quietly kind of running away with the division, and they look like they could be a real contender on the AFC side.
Yeah, I picked the same thing as you. The Jaguars, they put up 48 points. I don't think I've ever even seen them do that in their franchise's history. Trevor Lawrence had 5 touchdowns. They've also won 5 in a row. So, like you said earlier, I think that our win against them is looking pretty good right now because they've really come alive. And honestly, they look like a different team than they did back then. I mean, when they played the Rams, I think it was in London, they
lost like 31-7 or something.
Yeah, so they're just looking like a way better team. And even though they did it to the Jets, putting up 48 is like you've got to have some guys on your squad.
Yeah, that's no joke.
And then for my mid, I have the entire NFC South. The Buccaneers obviously choking that 2-touchdown lead. I think it was a 2-touchdown lead.
Yeah, they pulled in Atlanta against Atlanta.
Yeah, blowing a 2-touchdown lead to the Falcons on Thursday night, and then obviously the Panthers. They had a touchdown lead over the Saints for most of that game, and then they blew it. And now it's pretty much going to come down to the battle of the mids for that division in the Panthers and the Buccaneers. Both who are 500 right now. Both have a game against each other at each team's house. So we'll see who ends up winning that mid-ass division and getting the 4 seed and probably getting bounced in the first round.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, the biggest reason why I would hypothetically be okay with the Seahawks being the number 5 seed as a wild card is they'd get to play whoever wins the NFC South, which you should win that game at this point.
Agreed.
My mid this week is Dallas getting solidly beat by 9. I mean, when we played the Vikings, I was like, oh, this is kind of a joke win. But I think it really shows how fucking legit our defense is that after we shut this team out, they get 30-plus points in back-to-back weeks. Like, the Vikings aren't a bad roster.
No, they were a 14-win team last year.
Yeah, with mostly the same personnel except for this guy, Anakin, is taking the snaps, and he has not been. I feel like maybe the Packers game will be a low point in his career because they've gone 2-0 since then, with him back in the lineup. But yeah, Dallas is just fucking so mid, dude. I think their entire record since like 2010 or something is exactly 500 or right around it. Like, they're just...
That sounds about right.
Yeah, they are always a team that sells tickets but does not... They sell in December as a franchise and lose a bunch of games, and here we are again.
And George Pickens has gone back to being immature George Pickens.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, that has been much to my benefit in fantasy that he's had such a good year, but I was always like, so is George Pickens actually this good? And he's had a really good season, but he's, been kind of doing some weird stuff out there, particularly the week before, I think, against the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, who's your mid this week?
God damn it. I already did mine. It's the AFC South.
Oh,
so
sorry.
You do your ugly.
I lost track there. I don't even want to talk about this because we've talked about them I don't know how many times on the podcast this year. The fucking Raiders lost 31-0 again. That identical score has happened to them twice this season. And I also saw a stat today that was showing the number of players that have been put on IR or PUP for every team. And the Raiders are the least injured team in the league. And they're this fucking bad. So your absolute best that you can throw out there is like one of the worst teams I've ever seen. Honestly, I can't think of a worse way for Pete Carroll's career to probably end. And I think everyone's going to have an easy time forgetting it. He's 74. Like, it was kind of like Phillip Rivers coming out, like you appreciate the effort, but reality is reality. But I mean, Rivers looked a lot better than Pete has as a coach this year. So it's just ugly. This is the last time I want to talk about them for a while. Yeah. But if they keep losing 0-31, like I gotta call it as I see it.
Yeah, I'm getting just sick of talking about these loser teams this late in the season. So my ugly went to the Chiefs.
Ooh, I thought about putting them as well.
Yeah, they are finally eliminated from playoff contention for the first time in 11 years. And that, the cherry on top to their horrendous season was Patrick Mahomes tearing his ACL on like one of the last plays of the game. So, dadgummit indeed. Mahomes, who knows how long he's going to be out? He might even be out midway through next season.
Yeah.
So the Chiefs.
I think he's also turning 32. Not that that's ancient for a quarterback, but like the prime years for everyone but Brady essentially were in the 20s. So I don't know. I feel like last week we talked about how the dynasty window is over. The competitive window for the Chiefs could be closing here because, who knows if Andy Reid wants to keep doing this. Travis Kelce, what do you have to play for at this point?
They'd be best off just losing out because if they get like a pick in the low teens, they could be picking in the 40s and, the 70, whatever the third round is. But, they could really use that because they've been picking late every year because they've been going to the Super Bowl every year, and feels like they just got super old. And this year.
That really showed up, I thought, in the Texans game. Like, they just looked like they got out physicaled and were just slower on the field, and it's the reality when your team leans on like superstars for 11 years. I mean, granted, Mahomes has only been there for 8, but still, that's a long time in football years, and you guys can't keep playing at that level forever. And yeah, it's. I don't want to be the first one to write their obituary and then look dead wrong next year, but I don't know, man. It seems like this ride is over.
Agreed, and I'm happy to see it. All right, moving on to
Who's that athlete?
All right, we got Jonah up first.
Alrighty.
All right, so this might be. Let's see what we got here. This is a cornerback on the Bills.
I don't think I know who that is. Can you give me a hint?
So wait, don't look at the screen. Okay, his last name is White.
Oh, is it Tre'Davious White?
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't remember what his last name is, honestly, because I knew they had a corner that was really good named Tre'Davious.
All I knew is that his name started with a T.
All right, now next one. This is a wide receiver 2 for the Bills.
Wide receiver 2 on the Bills. And he's currently playing?
Yeah.
I honestly don't know who this is.
Yeah, who the fuck is this? Can we skip this one and go to another one?
Okay, don't look.
All right.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, definitely don't recognize his face.
Okay, and then this is a safety on the Bills.
Damar Hamlin.
Is that
You gave him a tough one today, Colby.
Yeah. Yours is equally as hard.
Oh.
safety on the is not Poyer, is it?
I'm gonna show you. Colby.
Who the fuck is that?
I know that name, but I don't think I've ever seen any three of these guys' faces
This
before.
is Joshua Palmer.
Okay.
Yeah. So I because you got it all really quick last episode, so it was going deep.
Yeah, and one of them was Jarrett Stidham, which that was disgusting.
All right, Ryan's up.
All right, I'm scared.
Okay, here we go.
Who's that athlete? It's is that Kyle Hamilton?
Yes. No.
Oh.
I was like,
Oh
Kyle
my
Hamilton's
God.
a safety.
Oh yeah. So cornerback on the Ravens. Okay, sorry, Nate Wiggins.
Yeah, I straight up would have just never gotten that anyways.
That's crazy though. Okay, wide receiver.
Ooh.
On the,
Oh, I know who
Is
this
it
is.
Batman?
oh.
Rashad Bateman? No. Oh, it is. Okay, cool.
Yeah, good. And then
Now that's Kyle
yeah,
Hamilton.
that's why I got confused. 'Cause- so yeah, so you got them all.
God,
right.
you gave Ryan rookie mode questions.
I was just.
It's
like,
because you did so good last week. Next week, I'm going to get the hard ones.
I did actually do. I was like, I'm gonna give you harder ones.
It's great on a curve.
All right. Well, hey, this is. Okay.
I would have definitely gotten. I mean, I did get 0 for 3 on yours too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was a tougher one. All right. Well, now let's go to
The power rankings.
the power rank.
So I've got, honestly, most of the same teams in the top 10. I don't really see any of them leaving. I do believe I had the Packers falling out of the top 10. That's mostly because of the Micah injury.
yeah,
And the Chargers swept the Chiefs and knocked them out of the playoffs. So I had to just put them in the top 10 as a thank you for doing that. But they're also just a good team. So
yeah. I have the Chargers at 10 too, but they.
Oh, you do? Weird. How'd they get there?
Hold your horses, buddy. They just don't feel like a top 10 team to me this year when I watch everyone else. Like, I thought about putting the Lions there. I had the Packers there, but just as far as like playoff seeding goes, the Chargers are virtually locked in. Well, either of those two teams, Lions and Packers, there's a very real world where they miss the playoffs entirely. So we'll put the Chargers in there. The Bears, I think, are going to stick in my top 10 unless they totally collapse, because I think they're just a good team, and they've kind of found their groove here in the last month or so. They did almost beat the Packers with Micah Parsons. 49ers, they're going to be right in that 8 slot, probably to the very wire here, unless they somehow win the division. But I think that team just reeks of absolute ceiling of a wild card round upset and losing the divisional round. Jaguars and Texans, those teams are on a lesser tier than the Broncos and Patriots and Bills in the AFC, I think. But I feel like both of them are kind of dark horses for the AFC playoff race because they're really well-rounded teams. I feel like the Jaguars are a little more well-rounded because the Texans' offense isn't that great, but the Texans' defense is maybe the best in the league, and they've been able to win games pretty much on their own. Patriots, they finally fell apart against the Bills, and the Bills have kind of just been rolling the last month or so here, so they look like their former selves. Rams, Seahawks, that's not likely to change a whole lot throughout the end of the season. And then Broncos, I don't like it. I don't want to have to do it, but I mean, they look like a top 2 AFC team this year.
They look good now.
Yeah.
I think them beating the Packers was a big win for them. It was because they had just not really beaten anyone that I took seriously, and they'd all been ugly wins. So
yeah, and I just hate Sean Payton a lot, so I never want to take them seriously. But they look like a legit contender, to be honest.
I would agree. Well, there you have it. That's power rankings for this week. We're sitting at 2 healthily.
90-yard touchdown! 90 yards!
I'd say so. I think the only shot we have to get the number 1 spot is to beat the Rams this Thursday. So, and I'd have us at number 1 for the rest of the year after that, more than likely. So, got to get the job done on Thursday, and we will be sitting prettier than we have been for more than a decade.
It would suck if we won out except against San Francisco.
Yeah, because then if they won out, they would win the division, and we'd be
that would be so ridiculous.
That would be I almost would rather just lose to the Rams and win the last 2 than have that scenario happen. Because if we had all this go right for us this season and then we blew it against this injury-riddled 49ers stupid team, I would be sick.
Yeah. I know. Something about the Niners kind of makes me, like, I feel like I need to see us beat them. I know we just beat them last year, but I don't know. They kind of make me nervous. More than the Rams.
Both of those division rivals, I just feel like they have been a constant just season ruiner for us for a really long time. I would say since 2017, either one of those teams has just like ended or ruined our season literally every single year. I mean, we can go through it. 2017, Rams destroyed us at home. 2018, Rams swept us and made us be a wild card team. 2019, we lose to the 49ers on like the 1-inch line at home to get the number 1 seed. 2020, Rams end the season. 2021, Rams break Wilson's finger and basically derail that season. 2022, we lose to the 49ers in the playoffs. And then 2023, we just were ass. But last year, Rams ruined it for us. So, yeah, that is a comprehensive list of how miserable these two teams have made us for the last 8 years or so. But the good thing is we have a chance to prove that we're turning the page on that this year. And if we do it, great. We're Super Bowl contenders. If we don't, it's going to be tough.
Yeah. Well, I have some faith. Like I said, I think we're going to win on Thursday. And that's the start to kicking it into high gear for a Super Bowl run.
Yes. Well, thanks for listening if you made it this far. And hopefully we'll see you Thursday night for a celebration reaction.
Yes. See you then.
90-yard touchdown! 90-yard touchdown!